হ্যালো আমেরিকা অনুষ্ঠানে ওয়াশিংটন ডিসি থেকে আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। আমি সাবরিনা চৌধুরী। আপনারা জানেন প্রতি সপ্তাহে আমরা আপনাদের জন্য আমেরিকা থেকে নিয়ে আসি আমাদের চারপাশে কী ঘটছে সেই সব খবরাখবর। তাছাড়াও থাকে বিভিন্ন ব্যক্তিত্বের সাক্ষাৎকার। তাহলে চলুন আর দেরি না করে শুরু করা যাক আমাদের আজকের আয়োজন। যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের রাজধানী ওয়াশিংটন ডিসিকে বলা হয় বিশ্ব কূটনীতি এবং রাজনীতির কেন্দ্রস্থল। বাংলাদেশে যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের রাষ্ট্রদূত মার্শা ব্লুম বার্নিকাট কিছু কর্মব্যস্ত সময় কাটিয়ে গেলেন এই ওয়াশিংটনেই। সে সময় পররাষ্ট্র দপ্তরে ভয়েস অফ আমেরিকার পক্ষ থেকে তার সাক্ষাৎকার নেন সরকার কবির উদ্দিন।
We are here at the State Department, Washington DC's studio. We have a very special guest, a VIP, Ambassador Marsha Bernicat, U.S. Ambassador in Bangladesh. And welcome, Ambassador Bernicat, to the Voice of America, Bangla Services, this special interview program. Like yourself, an American citizen, and additionally for me, Bangladesh being my home country, I oftentimes ask myself a question that I would like to present to you to be the first question today for you to respond, which is this land, small land of 55,000 acre miles, stretching from Tetulia in the north to Teknaf in the south, with a huge, vibrant, resilient population. How do they look to the American people?
I have to tell you, first and foremost, that our viewpoints, the way Americans look at Bangladesh, I think goes back to our very own origins. Bangladesh, like the United States, had to fight for its independence. It did so with very little support from the rest of the world, and it is through the sheer dint and entrepreneurship and energy, and as you say, resilience of the Bangladeshi people, that you have achieved so much in a fraction of the time it's taken us to do the same, by the way. So I think there's a real admiration, there's a real fascination with how you managed to do it.
This country has been built by people from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East. I mean, like we call it the melting pot.
Yes.
So Bangladesh is also built, liberated in 71 by the Bangla-speaking people that consisted of Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christians, and so many other religions. We live in religious harmony. Bangladesh has been an active partner of the United States of America, strategically, politically, economically, especially fighting terrorism, conducting military exercises on ground in the seas. How do you look at them?
Yes. Well, again, we are partners of the first order. You know, I'm very fond of saying that government-to-government partnerships should be overshadowed by people-to-people ties, and that's certainly the case between Bangladesh and the United States. But our government-to-government relations and partnership touch every area I can think of. We are very strong defense partners, and not only in training and in exercising, as you say, but also in equipment. Bangladesh has put to such good use rapid boats in the Bay of Bengal to address piracy issues, Coast Guard cutters that it uses on humanitarian missions, C-130s that help supply and ferry your peacekeepers, which, by the way, you know, what better proof of support for freedom around the world than putting the most precious thing a country has, its own citizen, it's in harm's way, in the protection and in the name of liberty. We cooperate in agriculture, in health, in education, in culture. My favorite one, and one that we're highlighting at our July 4th reception this year, is our cooperation in space. You might say, well, what is that? Everything from NASA working with the University of Maryland and the Forestry Ministry to plot reforestation in Bangladesh, to very soon SpaceX launching Bangladesh's first telecommunication satellite, the Bangabandhu 1. And so we're going to celebrate that and NASA's 60th anniversary at our July 4th this year.
Talking about trade in this time, when we are talking about trade of the United States imposing tariffs, China retaliating, Bangladesh and United States of America has a trade in which there is a huge deficit in favor of Bangladesh.
Yes.
And we know that United States of America is investing in Bangladesh only in one sector, which is energy sector. Now, do you think, Ambassador, that the diaspora population in United States of America from Bangladesh, they are ready yet to invest back home?
Well, of course, because they're already doing it. But I would take exception. The United States certainly has invested a lot in Bangladesh's energy infrastructure, but we are your #1 foreign direct investor, and we've invested in many different sectors, and there's a hunger to invest in an even broader range of companies and sectors. I think in terms of capturing more of the diaspora's wealth and interests, the government needs to look at the way in which money is transferred. My favorite topic along these lines is finding ways to provide more venture capital. Bangladesh has such a rich number of young and women, in particular, entrepreneurs. What do they need? Quite frankly, the same thing young and women entrepreneurs need in the United States, and that is the money and the faith, as well as the networking to make their ideas come to fruition. And so we would like to see a lot more money be able to flow from the US, from the UK, from Australia and other places to fuel especially those young, small and medium size companies that are coming.
We know that Bangladesh, female population of Bangladesh is almost the same as in the United States, percentage-wise. The total population of Bangladesh is about 170 million, as against 330 millions in the United States. But in Bangladesh, since its liberation in 1971 up until now, the women has been dominating in supervising the country. I mean, 2 prime ministers in taking turn to take care of the things in the country. The main opposition leaders have been females. The Speaker of the National Assembly is a woman. And on top of that, the most successful, efficient department that we know of is the Agriculture Department, again is headed by a woman. How do you look at your Bangladeshi sisters?
Well, I have to, with envy, certainly, in the sense that you're right, the leadership has been extraordinary and consistent with women. But I always pivot to the issue of the average woman in Bangladesh, the woman in the rural areas. And I think, first and foremost, we have to give the current Prime Minister, the Honorable Sheikh Hasina, enormous credit for getting virtually every girl into the classroom. This is an investment that will pay off.
Big achievement, yeah.
Big achievement, extraordinary for any country of Bangladesh's size and economic size, but even more importantly, in a very traditional culture. This is an investment that will take time, but will pay off enormously, as have the gains in health, which, you know, Bangladesh, how many countries achieved their MDG goals? Bangladesh in particular stood out in reducing child and mother and infant mortality rates. But what we'd love to see, again, is more economic empowerment, and we've seen the RMG sector has done wonders in this regard. The Bangladesh military, not unlike the American military, has proved to be a venue for opportunity. Women of all classes who have joined, being given areas of responsibility, same for the police forces. And as you say, Bangladesh has not only fielded women peacekeepers, they have fielded all women peacekeeping units and units now commanded by a woman. So, you know, there's a lot more work to be done.
Ambassador Bernicat, you have been living in Bangladesh for more than 3 years now.
Yes.
You have been breathing in the air of Bangladesh. You have been meeting people, living with them, interacting with them. You look more like Bangladeshi, like all other women. We know, I would like to take you briefly to the history of Bangladesh when in 1971 thousands of people, Bengali-speaking people, had to go across the border to India, and India was very kind to host them nicely. Likewise, Bangladesh today is hosting with a lot of love, affection, and human sympathy to the almost 1 million Rohingya people in Bangladesh. You have been, we have seen you in the camps of Rohingya refugees. You met the small little children, orphans, who lost their parents. Now, how do you evaluate this situation for Bangladesh?
First and foremost, I could not agree with you more. As a student of history, and as someone who turned 18 in 1971, I have followed Bangladesh's history literally from its first days.
I'm sure you did.
And the fact that when people refer to the extraordinary welcome that you have given to a people that are among the most persecuted on this planet, the fact that people refer to the fact that this kind of welcome was given to Bangladeshis, of course they're going to extend the same kind of, I don't know how many countries hold their history in such a tangible way. So we are in deep admiration and appreciation for the welcome that Bangladesh has given to the Rohingya people. I would say that the crisis, which is not new, I think we often hear it referred to as a new crisis, it only developed an inhuman scale beginning on August 25th. And now, by many counts, there are over 1 million Rohingya in Bangladesh and fewer than 200,000 in Burma. We absolutely support, both politically and materially and developmentally, all that Bangladesh is doing. Proudly, we are the partners, your partners on the ground, along with the UN and various NGOs, to make sure that aid is getting to everyone. We are partners in the UN, and we've raised our voice independently. Our former Secretary of State, as you know, in all of my history anyway in the department, was able to produce a very rapid determination that ethnic cleansing has occurred in Burma. This cannot stand. And first is the welcome, but we are ardent supporters of yours and of Burma's efforts to negotiate the return in a peaceful and you know, through informed consent and dignified and voluntary manner of every Rohingya who wants to return to their home, which is Burma.
Before I conclude, Ambassador Bernicat, before I say goodbye for now, I would like to say on behalf of my colleagues, on behalf of the people of Bangladesh, to a great woman that Bangladesh loves, that when you will not be there in Bangladesh, when you will be back home in the United States, Bangladesh will still remember Ambassador Bernicat playing cricket in Dhaka. They will remember Ambassador Bernicat visiting the Rohingya children in Cox's Bazar. It's been wonderful talking with you. Thank you very much for your time and for this interview, Ambassador Bernicat.
Thank you. Sir, can I wish all of you and your viewers a Shubho Noboborsho?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Shubho Noboborsho to you too. and all the best.
ধন্যবাদ। Thank you.
Thank you very much, viewers.
এই ছিল আমাদের আজকের হ্যালো আমেরিকা। আশা করি আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানটি আপনাদের ভালো লাগছে। এ বিষয়ে যদি আপনাদের কোনো প্রশ্ন মন্তব্য থাকে তাহলে আপনারা আসতে পারেন আমাদের ফেসবুক পেজে। তাছাড়া আমাদের ওয়েবসাইট www.voabangla.com এবং আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেলে আমরা নিয়মিত আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠান আপলোড করে থাকি। দেখা হবে আগামী সপ্তাহে। আজ এখানেই বিদায় নিচ্ছি। আমি সাবরিনা চৌধুরী, ভয়েস অফ আমেরিকা।